the start of a weekend vlog. It is Friday, April 21st. I forgot what month it was. And it's around 5 in the evening, and I thought I would start this vlog. I am currently, at the moment, well, not at the moment, but I was like 2 seconds ago, frogging a project because I made it too big. So I'm making a bralette with a little lacy section in the middle, and I love it. And I love the pattern. I will put a screenshot of the picture up here, but I love the pattern. It's a free pattern. I love it. The only thing is I made it too big. So, because I'm using acrylic yarn from Walmart, Bernat Premium. It's my go-to. And it's a knitted pattern, by the way. And it stretches. So I have to go down probably 3 sizes from what my chest is. So, yeah. So I'm frogging this. I got quite a ways in too, and then I tried it on and it was way too big. So, and I think I'm going to do it on a 5mm needle because I was using, I think, a 4mm, and I did like it, but the chain wasn't long enough and I tended to lose stitches. So I think I'm going to use a 5mm because I have one that has a long cord on it. Not chain, cord. So, yeah. And then currently, what books am I reading? I'm reading The Appeal by Janice Hallet. Is it Harlot? Hallet. Janice Hallet. I'm really enjoying it. This has mixed media. I'm sure you've heard this, but it's got mixed media, text messages, and emails, and you don't really know what happened. I'm on page 84. I read it all today. I'm on page 84, and I still don't know who died or what happened. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Excuse the library thing and the shine. That's the library. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you pause it and look, you can see what library I go to, but it is the West Kelowna Library, Okanagan Regional. So, yeah. And then, as I said in a short, my first short I did, I am also reading The Remarkable Journey of Coyote's Sunrise by Dan Gemeinhart. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Really enjoying it so far. It's emotional. It really is. And I will talk more about it when I get to reading it tonight. I do hope I finish it tonight, but I'm in a knitting mood, so I'm going to knit for a while. So I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I mean, I know you'll be seeing this after the weekend, but I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you later. Hello. It's only been half an hour since I last updated you, but I just casted on the size 38 inch size for chest. I am like a 42, but I decided to go for 38 because it was way too big when I tried it on. So, it does stretch. Acrylic does stretch. So, why do I have this all tangled? Okay. So while I start this pattern, it's a free pattern, so I don't mind saying, but the first 6 rows are garters, so it's all in the round. So it's first round purl, second round knitted, and then it just does that for 6 rounds. And I thought I would talk to you about the book I'm currently working on. No, not the book I'm reading, the book I'm writing. So if you don't know, people say I should call myself an author because I do have a book out. I have a short story in a book out. Not technically a whole book, but I don't know whether to call myself an author or not. But I'm an aspiring author as well. I'd like to have a novel out. I have started so many books and just not finished them. And I've decided that I'm finally going to finish one. So the last book I finished was when I was about 30 or so. And I was writing a book since I was 19, I had the idea. I think I started writing it when I was 19 or 20. And I wrote it until I was about 30, 31 years old, off and on. I finished it in time for my mom to read it before she died, which was wonderful. I really liked that. I think I was maybe 29 when she read it, because she died when I was 32, 31 or 32. So it was probably a year or two before that she read it, and that meant a lot to me. Since then, I've rewritten that book once. It's pretty much a novella size, so I wanted to make it a full size novel. And I have to change a lot of it because nowadays a lot of the things I put in the book are problematic, and I probably should have known better, but at the time I didn't. So I want to change a lot of it just because of that, because I do know better now. Um, as far as race, race comments and stuff like that, that back in the day weren't considered racist remarks, but now they definitely are. And so I'm going to be changing that, obviously. And then I decided to rewrite the whole book because I got this all tangled. I gotta unplug this for a second. I have my headphones in here. Um, I have to change a lot of it, and then I decided just to rewrite the whole thing and add a bunch of stuff in it to make it longer. And I'm really enjoying it. I've only written about 2,300 words so far, but I decided to go and write a character sketch for each of my characters and an outline. Because I'm basing it on the book I wrote, but I'm changing a lot and adding a lot. So I have to have an outline, I think. I'm usually a pantser, but to be honest, when I pants, I don't actually finish it. So I'm going to do an outline. Right now I'm using a character sketch template. Template. Template from readsy.com. And it's a 20-page thing you can fill out for your characters. I'm doing it nice and slowly on my main character, and I have tons of other characters to do. And then I'll write the outline. So that's what I'm working on right now with my book. I'm just calling it Cassie's Story because that's her name, Cassie. It's my favorite name. I came up with it, well, when I was 19. When I started writing, it just seemed like the proper name for my main character, and it's always stuck. It is the name I picked for my baby in heaven. If I have a little girl in heaven, her name is Cassie. It is Kassa-Leigh. And yeah, that's my main character's name. So the whole book is about, let me tell you what it's about. I got these new knitting needles, and I love them, but they're hard to get over this little part here. They get like stuck. So I don't like that. Anyways, as I was saying, the book is, originally I called it Hooked Forever. It is not what I call it now. I just call it Cassie's Story. But Hooked Forever was about a young girl who gets abused at home, and her father dies, who she was very close to, and she runs away after she's neglected and abused by her mom and her mom's boyfriends. Pretty rough. She runs away and enters a kind of like a modern day brothel for teenage girls, and it's about her life as a prostitute in the 90s and about her life getting off the street. She starts off in this kind of brothel that is almost like a family to her, and then she goes on the streets after something happens, and it's her getting off the streets and starting her life out with a better future, or more of a future, with what she really wants to do in life, and she learns to love herself, and she also falls in love. So other than that, I can't really tell you much. That's quite a bit of the story, but there's a lot more to it. There's a few character deaths that I'm not looking forward to writing, because one of my personal favorite characters dies in the book, and when I wrote that when I was 19, it was tragical. It was hard for me to write, but it was the right way to go in the book for me. I thought it was what would make the best book. I don't know if that's the way I'm going to write it now because I haven't done my outline yet. But yeah, so I'm writing the character sketches out right now. I'm still working on my MC, Cassidy. I'm on page like 11 or 12 of the 20 pages of information, and I realize that character sketches aren't always necessary. There are some questions and some things that you don't need to know, and then there's some things you put on it that you'll never need in your book. But I think it's important to know as much as you can about the character, and I've already learned something, a big something, about my character that I didn't know of until I wrote it down on the character sketch, and it's actually going to be a big part of the story. So I already have found it helpful. And Readsy, I don't know if you know about Readsy. It's a free website that has free courses on like 10-day courses on writing, and it has a writing platform. I don't use the writing platform, but they also have a YouTube channel. If I remember, I'll link it below. If I forget and you want to know, just let me know and I'll link it below. But it's Reedsy. And I watch their YouTube channel a lot. And I just Googled free templates for character outlines or character profiles. And this one came up. And so I just realized I'm doing knit instead of purl. Oh, that's why I don't like talking when I'm doing my knitting. Anyways, so, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I found the template. I'm really liking it. And I'm hoping to do a lot of work on it this weekend. If I don't babysit, I do babysit a little 2-year-old. He's my life. I love him so much. And I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, so I'm kind of hoping I babysit him tonight. But it's already 5:30 and his mom hasn't called me, so I'm doubting I will. But if I don't, I'm going to work hard on the writing because I do want to write and I do want to read as well. So I will update you later. Bye, guys. Hi, sorry for the lighting. I'm in the dark. I just have my lamp on. It is 7:10 p.m. and I just finished writing my character outline profile thingy for my main character, Casa, and I'm just going to take a break. I didn't do a lot of knitting. I do want to do some more knitting tonight. I do want to read, but I just wanted to check in and let you know that I did finish that, and I'm very happy with it. I think I learned a lot about my main character. I'm sorry about the glare in my glasses, but, I need them to see. So, I do want to read this book, which I'm doing a vlog about. Yeah, I'm not going to talk much about this book in this vlog. I am going to finish it, but I'm not going to talk about it because it is for another vlog. But the one I will talk about probably will be The Appeal. I am reading that, and I'm really enjoying it. So this book is again, I mentioned before in my last clip, it's a mixed media type book. And it's two people that receive a bunch of texts and email messages that an office, like the law, I'm assuming, has given them to sort through to figure out a murder. I don't know. At the point I'm at now, I don't know who's been murdered or if there even has been a murder. So it's kind of confusing, but I'm really enjoying it too. And it's a fast read. I read like 80 pages in like half an hour because it's really fast, maybe 45 minutes if I'm being honest, but yeah. Okay, I don't feel very good, so I'm just going to relax for a while. I've been a little bit nauseated lately, so I'm just going to relax. It's nothing big. I get nauseated a lot. It's just, I call it being me because I've always had sick stomach since I was about 10 or so. And I'm 45 now, so about 35 years I've been sick, and used to be every day. Now it's just once or twice a week, and so I'm just going to relax, maybe watch some YouTube. Okay, bye. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is April 22nd at 9:45 a.m. I got up around 7:30 and just basically watched YouTube. I took all my meds. I take a lot of meds in the morning, so I took them. I had my insulin shot and had a bit of breakfast. I had a piece of banana bread, which is not good for my diabetes. I understand that, but it was good. And I made it worse by putting some jam on it. Don't judge me. It was good, and I took the insulin for it, so I should be fine. It always takes 2 to 3 hours for the insulin to start working. So, because I don't take fast-acting insulin, I just take long-acting insulin, which I really hate. I wish I was taking fast and long, but for some reason my doctor just wants me on long-acting insulin. So it takes a couple hours for it to start working. So in the mornings, I'm usually, once I have breakfast, because I eat as soon as I get up. I'm always hungry and a bit nauseous, so I always have something to eat when I first wake up. And my blood sugar gets a bit high for a couple hours until my insulin starts working. That's a lot of stuff you probably didn't need to know, and you probably don't care, but I thought I'd tell you anyways. So last night I did read a bit, but I did not read the books I said I was going to read, because why would I? I have all these other books. I read some of An Ale of Two Cities by Sarah Fox. This is book 2, I think, of the Literary Pub Mysteries by Sarah Fox. And I am loving this series. I read the first one, which was something to do with Pride and Prejudice, I think. What was it called? Oh, she's a Canadian too. Well, that's cool, because I just saw a thing about her on here that says Crime Writers of Canada. Ooh, she lives in British Columbia. That's where I live. Oh, that's cool. Where does she live? Oh, it doesn't say exactly where, but she lives in British Columbia. Oh, I like this book even more. Anyways, it doesn't say what her first book was called, but I read it. You'll see it in my March wrap-up. My computer just turned off. My camera just turned off. So I don't know if this recorded. We will see. Okay, so I know you don't see it on your end, but on my end, my camera turns off on my webcam, and it just randomly shuts off. And then I have to start a new video, because sometimes it doesn't save it, sometimes it does. Looks like it did this time, so yay. Anyways, as I was saying, this follows Sadie Coleman, I think her name is. Yes, Sadie Coleman, and she owns a literary pub. So what it is, it's a pub that she owns in this little village town thing. And all the drinks are based on literary books, like literature. And like there's a Count Dracula drink and all those kinds of things. And then she has books there. It's kind of like a bookstore as well. Really enjoyed. This is An Ale of Two Cities. I'm really enjoying it. I read a couple chapters last night. I'm on page 52, but I started it probably about a month ago. And this book follows a winter carnival, so I'm looking forward to finishing that. That's really good. And it's a cozy mystery. I should have said that in the beginning. It's a cozy mystery, and I'm loving it. So today, I really want to work on my outline for my story, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was doing character sketches. I think what I need to do is a basic outline for my story. And I realize I'm talking a lot about writing in this vlog. I do apologize, but I am a writer, and I am trying to work hard at it now. So you'll be hearing me talk about writing for the next for the future. So I want to do a basic outline where I just outline basically what happens in the book, not get into real specifics. And then I want to do a chapter outline, which will take forever, but I want to do that. So today I'm planning on doing the basic outline and possibly some character sketches. So that's going to take a lot of work. I also want to do some reading. So I want to read I do want to read this book. I have a craving to read this book. That's why I read some of it last night. I really want to read it. So I might read that, or I might read the two other books, which are over there. The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, I have to finish for a vlog. And the other book, what was it? Oh, what's it called? Janice Hallet's The Appeal. I want to finish that too. So I got a lot of stuff I want to do today. So let's get going. Okay, so it's only been about 45 minutes, and I got dressed into a sundress because I felt like wearing a sundress, and this is my favorite sundress. It's polka dot. I love it. I forget where I got it from. I got it years and years ago. I think I got it from a store in Merritt, where I used to live. I think that's where I got it from, but yeah. I'm out of breath. I took out the garbage and got my mail, which was by my door, so I just opened the mail and did all that, and I made myself a cup of mocha in my future best-selling author mug, my favorite mug. Well, not my favorite. My favorite's my Anna Green Gables mug, but this is my favorite one for writing with. And yes, whoops, my camera fell. My computer. Yes, I do have a straw. I like drinking coffee with straws. I don't know why, I just do. So it's a metal straw I got from Walmart. It comes in a set of 3, I think, and I got a pack of that. So I really love it. They're easy to wash. They come with a little scrubber thing inside for it. So I'm going to have some. I have instant coffee because I do like instant coffee. Funny enough, my parents were never wealthy. So, I mean, we never went hungry or anything, but we were never wealthy growing up. And one thing to cut costs was my parents bought instant coffee for their coffee. So when I started drinking coffee, that's what I started drinking. And I actually like instant coffee a lot. Don't know if I like it better than brewed coffee, but I'm used to it, so that's what I drink. And then when I'm out, of course, I brew coffee, but at home I just have instant. It's cheaper. I don't have a lot of money, so yeah. And then I did put a little bit of carnation hot chocolate in it. I just put a small spoonful because I like a little bit of hot chocolate in it, and my blood sugar's not doing too bad. So yeah, and I think I'm going to. Don't know what I'm going to do. I'm very lazy today. I feel very lazy this morning. I really should do some writing or reading. I don't feel like knitting because my hands are hurting, so that kind of takes out writing as well because I do have arthritis. I don't know if I have it in my fingers, but I'm pretty sure I do. I have it in my knee as well, but I might try and do some writing, or I might read. I don't know what to do. What should I do, people? I have so many books to read. I'm looking at all those books. I've got so many books out from the library. It's ridiculous. But like I've said in library hauls, I like having choices, and I don't have many books of my own anymore. And I just like seeing a bunch of books, although they're not stacked very nicely, but I'll have to fix that. Okay, I am going to do something. I don't know what. I will talk to you later, let you know what I did. Bye. Okay, so I just picked up Ayla Two Cities to Read by Sarah Fox, and I forgot. There is a police officer in this book named Eldon, and that's my dad's name, and I never ever see that name in a book. And I was very excited. I sent him a picture a while ago with it pointing out the name. I mean, Eldon. Nobody ever says that. E-L-D-O-N. Never heard that name in a book, and I was very excited to see that. So I was just reading, and the name came up again, and I got excited. I don't know why. I just love seeing names of people that I know in books that aren't usual names that you see. So that was kind of exciting. Good morning. Yes, it's the next day. I'm sorry I didn't update you yesterday. I had quite a fun day yesterday. So I found out that Krista from her channel Books and Jams was doing a 7-year book anniversary for her BookTube channel. So I went and enjoyed the live stream for that. I was just in the comments, but it was my throat. It was 7 hours long, and I was there I missed the first hour and a half, and I missed the last 45 minutes or so. So I was there for about 5 hours, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So thank you, Krista, for doing that. That was wonderful. So, yeah, I got quite a bit of reading done. Not as much as I wanted, but I got some done. I was reading A Nail of Two Cities. I am now on page 120. So I read about 70 pages or so, I think. I just want to show you my bookmark. Well, it's upside down. It says Anne of Green Gables, and then it says that famous quote, I can't read it on the screen. I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. I love that. I got that, I don't remember where. I got it from Etsy, I know that. But I love that bookmark. So I'm really enjoying this. It's a cozy. I'm enjoying it. I do want to finish a book today. I also listened to part of an audiobook because I had a headache for a while, so I couldn't read. So I listened to a bit of To Right or Wrong by Jen Turano. Don't know how to pronounce her last name, sorry. I'm really enjoying that. That's a kind of historical, kind of a mystery romance type book. It's really cute. It's a series, and I've read the first book, which was called To Steal Heart. And this one's To Right or Wrong. And it's following my favorite character out of To Steal Heart. So I'm really loving the audiobook. And I have the third book up there somewhere because I couldn't find an audio at my Libby, which I really hate when my library does that, you know? Like it gets a couple audiobooks from the one series and not from the rest. Like they did that for Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. They have the fourth book in audio, but they don't have the first three. Like, why do they do that? I realize it's because people ask for it to come, but if they ask for the number 4 in a series, then as the library, you should probably get 1, 2, and 3 too. I don't know. It just makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me that way, but anyways, just my own pet peeve, but. So it is 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and I'm going to do some reading, I think, and then I have to take my meds still and my insulin, and I had a UTI last night, so I ordered some cranberry juice, because if you know, you know. If you get an UTI, cranberry juice is the way to go. It's much better than antibiotics. I think it works better than antibiotics, actually. As long as you catch it early, and I'm pretty sure I did. So, because I'm a diabetic, I get UTIs a lot. So, I always know when I get one. So, I ordered at like 9:30 at night last night. I got some cranberry juice, so I've been drinking that. And, yeah. I also got these chocolate peanuts. They are so good. These are expensive though. They were like $6. To me, that seems a little too expensive, but maybe not. There's a lot in here, so maybe not, but yeah. Okay, I will talk to you later and catch up later. Bye. Okay, hi. I've tried re-recording this clip a few times. I'm sorry if the camera is lagging. I don't know what's wrong with my webcam. Again, it's not working properly. I don't know why it does this, but it does. So we're just going to roll with it. So I just had a shower. It's almost noon on Sunday, and I did some research for the book I'm writing. I am changing quite a bit. I changed the date of when this happened. Instead of in 1992, I'm going to put it in 2004, I think. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think it's going to be 2004 because that's when Facebook started up. And part of my research said that Facebook is the way that a lot of girls got into sex trafficking. So, in the 90s. Or 2000s. So I'm going to work on the timeline there and do some more research and do some more work on it. I don't know about you, but when you write a book, like I wrote this book when I was 19, so I'm 45 now, so it's been like almost 30 years. And I don't want to change anything. It's like I'm so caught up in what I wrote that I don't want to change anything, but I know I have to. And it's so hard to do. I don't know if you're a writer, you might understand that. I don't know. But I think I'm going to do some reading for a while. I think I'm going to read. Um, I think I'm going to read The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. Again, I'm reading this book for a vlog that I'm doing that I hope to have up next week. And my camera just turned off again. I don't know why it does this. It's so stupid. Anyways, so I think I'm going to read this for a while, and I will catch up with you guys later. Hi, it is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just washed some dishes and put them away. I did some cleaning up in my room a bit. I still have more to do, but yeah, I plan on doing some more cleaning today because I do want to keep up with the cleaning. If you know me, I'm not the best cleaner, so I'm trying to, house cleaner, so I'm trying to do better and work on that. So I got some more to do today, but right now I'm going to be doing some knitting. I did read some more of this, An Ale of Two Cities by Sarah Fox. It's a cozy mystery. Sorry for the lighting, I've got my light off. But this book is by Sarah Fox. I'm really enjoying it. I like the literary pub idea. I love that. And it's got hockey in it, which is great because I'm Canadian and I found out that this author's Canadian. And so there's hockey in it, and that's exciting. I'm enjoying that aspect of it. And it's not professional hockey, which I'm really enjoying because I used to watch my brother play hockey when he was younger, in a hockey team when he was like probably 9 or 10. And I used to love going to his games and watching. So this is a lot of fun reading about an amateur hockey team. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm just about on chapter 18. I stopped one page away from chapter 18 just because I had to go do some dishes, and I went to get a glass of water and I saw my dishes, so I washed them too. But I think right now, though, I'm going to knit for a while. I'm working on the bralette that I was frogging at the beginning of this vlog. So I've gotten this far. Here's the lacy parts. Can't see much of it yet, but I think I'll work on that. I did work on a scarf for a while, last night. I didn't do a lot of knitting yesterday, but I think I'm going to work on that for a while. So I will talk to you later, catch up with you later. Bye. Hi, happy Monday. It is Monday, April 24th at 9 p.m. I was just looking at the date. 9 a.m., sorry, not p.m. And I just am watching YouTube for a while. I'm still in my jammies, because why not? And I plan on going to the library today, but I'm going to end the video with this clip. So an update. First of all, I just have to say, does anybody else have ant problems in their house right now? Because I have lots in my house. Tons of ants. And I've used those little poison trap things, but they eat the poison, but they don't die. It's been a week since I put out the poison, and they're still there. They've eaten all the poison, and they still aren't dying, so I don't get it. I did buy cheap ones, so maybe that's why. But I went and I've invested in buying some ant spray, so I'm going to spray along the floorboards of the house today. I'm waiting for it to be delivered today. So I'm hoping that'll help, because there's tons of ants in this house. And I know it's the weather change and everything, but this is a little too much, I think. So we might have to look into that. But as far as reading goes, I finished 2 books last night. I'm sorry I didn't do an update last night. I was really tired. So I finished an audiobook. I finished To Right or Wrong by Jen Torino. I'll put a picture up there. And it is a historical fiction mystery / romance book. Clean romance. There's no spicy scenes, which I really enjoyed. Although the tension between them was so much. I was rooting for this relationship. I was so into it. The love interest in the book is totally my kind of guy. And I used to laugh when people said they have book boyfriends and book husbands. But this guy is totally my book husband. He is just wonderful. His name's Herman, though, and I don't like the name Herman, but I love him. He's so great. So anyways, this book is the second in a companion series of the Bleecker Street Agency. What's it called? I think it's called the Bleecker Street Agency. Bleecker Street Inquirers Agency. I don't know, something like that. by Jen Toronto. And it sounds like I'm saying Toronto. No, I'm saying Toronto. Toronto, Turano. Anyways, that aside, I'm still waking up, can you tell? Um, this book features my favorite character from the first book to Steal Heart. And this character is named Daphne, and she's a writer, and she's a famous writer, but nobody knows because she uses a male pseudonym. And she, because it's in the 1800s, this takes place, like 1890s, 1880s, something like that. So women can't write mystery books apparently. So she uses a male pseudonym and she's very popular. And I love her character. She is hilarious and just so wordy. She loves words, and I love that. And she's always jotting down things in her notebook to put in her books. It's great. And her friends and her own an inquiry agency that help women out when the police don't take them seriously. And in this particular book, she tries to find out who is attempting to murder this other famous author, and he's a guy, and they have a chemistry, and it's so good. Except she doesn't think he likes her, so it's cute. Obviously, it's a romance, so obviously it has a happy ending. But so it's a bit of a mystery, romance, historical. Um, no spicy scenes. There's actually no murder in the book, which I liked. I never thought I would like that, but I actually thought it worked well. And there is a social commentary about women's rights and men treating them like my foot's itchy. Sorry. Um, Treating them like property, and getting what they want no matter how they get it, kind of thing. Which it does talk about attempted rape. There is no actual rape, but there's attempted rape in the book, so just to let you know on that. Um, but it's handled really well, and it's done in a tasteful way. Like I mean, if rape can be tasteful, I don't mean it that way, but it's not graphic or anything. It's just you know what this guy has intentions to do, and it's just, and in the end, I love how. No, that's kind of a spoiler. I can't say that, but it's really good. It's talking about women's empowerment and stuff like that, and I really like that. So, and like I said, the love interest, Herman, oh my gosh, I love him so much. He's great. He's another author, so he gets Daphne, like they talk about writing and about words and stuff and reading and everything, and it's just so wonderful. Oh, I love that story. So I do have the third book up here somewhere. It's called where is it? I'm looking. To Disguise the Truth, right up there, right, no, right there, To Disguise the Truth is the third book in that series, so I want to read that soon. I'm really enjoying it. I listened to this one to Right Around on audiobook, and I listened to Steal Heart on audiobook, but my library doesn't have the third one on audio, so that's just weird. So, yeah, I thought I'd read that. And then I also finished Physically an Ale of Two Cities by Sarah Fox. I love these covers. They're so good. I mean, I don't drink, but still, I think that looks pretty. Oh, I just realized it's got an ice pick in it with blood on the book. Ooh, that's gross. Okay, maybe it's not pretty. Anyways, I really enjoyed this book. It is about, what's her name? Hang on. What was her name? Takes place in Vermont. Sadie Coleman, and she has a literary pub, which is a pub with literary themes for its drinks, names of its drinks and stuff, and it has a library and has trivia, like literary trivia and stuff like that. It's really cool. And in this book, we follow Sadie and her friend, friend and worker for the pub. She is involved in a winter festival that happens. So this is a winter book, and it's really got winter vibes. And it's got snowshoeing, it's got hockey, it's got skiing, it's got everything. And I was gonna say Daphne. Sadie. Sadie tries to clear her friend's name because her friend becomes a suspect in a murder, and it was so good. I really enjoy Sarah Fox's writing, and she's a Canadian, so that's cool. She lives in BC where I live, so that's really cool. Don't know what else to say. There's a murder, and one of her co-workers becomes a suspect. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. It was really good. I gave it 5 stars. Oh, I gave To Right or Wrong 5 stars too. This is definitely 5 stars. I'm looking forward to reading more. I have more. I think I have 3 more of that series up there because I just love that series. So, yeah, I enjoy it. And I love the pun in Ale of Two Cities. The first book, I think I mentioned earlier that it was a Pride and Prejudice book. No, it was Crime and Punishment. Not Crime and Punishment, Wine and Punishment. Wine and Punishment. Sorry, not Crime and Punishment. And, yeah, I read that last month, I think. So I'm really enjoying the series, and I'm really loving it. Even though I don't drink, I thought it was a good little series. So those are my updates. I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, wherever you are, whenever you are. If you're in the future, hello. What I mean, of course, is if you're in, like, Australia or whatever. Okay, never mind. You know what I mean. Anyways, I don't mean literally the future. I just mean time-wise. Okay? Alright, never mind. I'm over-explaining things. Don't you hate that when people do that when they over-explain things? I do that all the time. It's like whenever I make a joke, I feel like I have to explain it, even though people understand it fine. They know what I mean. I still feel like I have to explain it, and then once I start explaining, I over-explain it, and it's really annoying. Apparently, it's part of ADHD that people do that, and I do have ADHD, so... Anyways, food for thought. Have a great day, guys. God bless you in all you do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel you can. That didn't sound right, but anyways, if you want to. And thank you for all those who've subscribed lately. I've had quite a few new subscribers, so thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy the channel. Have a great day, guys. Bye.